Do ketone supplements help with weight loss? Maybe, but not in the way that you think. You see, our body naturally produces ketones when we're burning excessive amounts of body fat, which is why ketone production increases during a fast. However, we can also get into a ketotic state when we're consuming a very high amount of dietary fat, but we can also begin to produce ketones when we consume a very high amount of dietary fat. This is referred to as a ketogenic diet, because again, the dietary fat itself can be converted into ketones. But we would also have to drastically restrict our carbohydrate consumption, because in the presence of excessive glucose, we will not begin to create ketones. Rather, the dietary fat will just be shuttled into storage, which is called fat tissue. And the last way that we could technically have ketones circulating is if we're taking a ketone supplement. As you can tell, when we're creating ketones from dietary fat or ketone supplements, it does not mean that we're utilizing our body fat to create ketones. Therefore, you can absolutely gain weight on a ketogenic diet if you eat enough fat. But beyond a certain point, we do not need to continue to create ketones. Therefore, excess dietary fat, beyond our energy demands, will be stored as body fat. And if you're taking a ketone supplement, you may increase the circulating ketones in your body. And these ketones can be utilized as fuel, specifically in locations like the muscles, the organs, and the brain. But then the rest of the food that you're eating, in the form of glucose, carbohydrates, and proteins, will not be utilized as fuel and would rather be stored in locations such as your body fat. So ketone supplements have 4 calories per gram. And there are many myths surrounding the ketogenic diet about calories not being important. But you must understand that any calories we consume beyond what we require for energy will absolutely be stored as body fat. Therefore, if you are consuming food beyond your energy requirements, you will gain weight, whether or not it's coming from a ketone supplement, a high carbohydrate diet, or a high fat diet. With that being said, people can use ketone supplements to simply skip meals, because it does appear that ketone supplements are fairly satiating. But if you're using ketone supplements as meal replacements, you are missing out on all of the micronutrients you would derive from eating actual food. So you can think about the consumption of ketones the same way that you would think about a carbohydrate drink. And due to the price of ketones, I wouldn't recommend it for any of the general population. And the consumption of ketones is typically utilized in certain circumstances, for example, in different cognitive abnormalities, or in populations that need readily accessible energy, such as freedivers, professional athletes, or even military personnel. However, for the general population, ketone supplements probably will not be doing you much good. And they definitely are expensive. And if you want to take control of your health and energy, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.